Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. And Al, spring is in the air. We're less than a week away. And depending on where you are in the state, it may or may not feel like it. I know folks are definitely wanting to get back out in the fields, though. How are we shaping up this week?
Well, Troy, it's been quite a week, and we were looking for some spring weather. We got the spring weather. Unfortunately, we got the rain on top of the snow, and we have had an absolute mess across a substantial portion of the northern half of Nebraska. And we really don't know completely what the total losses are going to be, as basically the flooding is still ongoing and is expected to, as we go through this weekend, to gradually move that storm surge all the way down into the Missouri River into the southeastern Nebraska. And we should start seeing some reprieve from the very high waters in north central and northeastern Nebraska. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of roads. We've lost a few bridges, a lot of flooding to houses. We don't even know what our losses are to some of our cattle. It just is calving season. So basically, I think that we're probably looking at somewhere in the $50 to $100 million range in damages, and probably could be even more than that. This is just a general assessment based on the damage reports we've had so far. Now, for the good news, it does look like we're going to get a reprieve from this precipitation. So if we took a look at the upper air charts, here's that trough that was responsible as that low came out of the southwest, exploded, moved up to the Great Lakes. Now we have a general trough and a northwest flow aloft. That's a dry, basically, flow in the atmosphere, surface high pressure in control, and it will be in control for the remainder of this weekend. You'll notice it's just a scattering of flurries, and a lot of this is associated with the backside of the storm moving up the eastern seaboard. And this trough diffs a little bit farther as we go into Sunday. A little bit cooler air into the northeastern and eastern portions of the state with high pressure pushing into our region. But overall, it's still going to be a nice weekend as we don't see any precipitation, and temperature should be slightly below normal to around seasonal totals. And then this trough starts to push off on Monday to the east, and that's going to allow a little bit warmer air as this high pressure currently shown Monday morning to be centered to the north of it starts to slide toward the southeast, and that's going to bring southerly winds on the backside of it. All the precipitation remains to the east of us. As we go on the day on Tuesday, the ridge pushes in a little bit farther to our east. That's going to allow a little bit warmer air, and we should be in the 50s and maybe some 60s in southwestern Nebraska. In the snow-covered area, it's probably going to be a little bit cooler, but high pressure firmly in control. A little bit of precipitation shown in the southern Rockies, but it doesn't look like anything major. By the time we get to Wednesday, now the center of that ridge starts to lay over most of the western two-thirds of the state. So it's a very nice day on Wednesday, probably 50s all the way around the state with some 60s in the southwest. High pressure firmly in control. No precipitation, all of us to the eastern seaboard. As we get into the day on Thursday, now we start to see some troughing coming into the western United States, particularly the southwest. It looks eerily similar to the path that was taken from this previous storm. Surface low starts to develop as we get into southwestern Kansas. That will try to feed some moisture up, but because it's way ahead of this trough, most of the area will be concentrated over in the southwestern United States. Then as we get on the day on Friday, we start to see a little bit of energy trying to shift out of that upper air low of the southwest. We see a surface low developing in north central Kansas. I don't think we're going to have enough time to get deep moisture into our region, but enough to get some precipitation going on Friday. What we will be watching for is that the main piece of that energy comes out later in the weekend to the early part of next week, whether or not we will see a significant weather maker. But for right now, the first time we can show this, 8 to 14 day forecast next Thursday, the following Tuesday, above normal temperatures for the Central Plains. In regards to precipitation, just a slightly above normal chance of moisture with that low coming out late next weekend.